You're listening to Zoom the TBT with Charge and Hayner.
Hey guys, Charge Hayner presents Zoom the TBT, and today we have the Commonwealth represented by Coach Mike Mannix and guard Chaz Williams. How you guys doing today?
Doing well. Thanks for having us.
Doing good. Doing good.
Great to have you guys. So Chaz, let's start with you. So first of all, the great thing about TBT is everybody's kind of playing overseas. So where did you play last year and where are you going to play next year?
Last year I spent my season in Spain. I was there, since September. And this upcoming season I'm going back to Iceland where I spent the year at already. And I'll be playing for Narvik. So, it'll be pretty fun and a little cold, let's say that.
A little cold. Winter in Iceland sounds like something else. I assume you're a meat eater. I'm a vegetarian myself. There's like nothing for me to eat in Iceland. I looked.
Well, honestly, I became a pescatarian when I was in Iceland because of all the, the fish and stuff like that. So they have a lot of good food there.
How many coats do you have to wear in Iceland in the winter?
To be honest, like I was telling my fiance, she got to put on some couple pounds because that wind is very vicious and it'll push you away.
Yeah, I think it's like negative 30 degrees Kelvin or something. Or that's pretty
wild.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's wild. I going to Iceland is a decision. I'll say that for basketball in winter. Coach Mannix, so like this is a first-year alumni team. Obviously, they always have some challenges. I know you're working with Patrick McWilliams from the Commonwealth's NIL. How did this team come together?
Briefly, it was kind of a combination of ideas because Javorn Farrell, who's our director of player personnel, Javorn and a few other UMass former players, alumni, had the idea about it for the last few years, kicked it around, kind of never came to fruition. I had no idea that anybody from UMass was ever playing around with the idea. After I found out that Team YGC that I coached last year, that it wasn't looking good for this year, I contacted Pat McWilliams, and I just said, hey, last year after Team YGC went out of the tournament, I got to watch some of the alumni teams, and it was kind of cool to see that the connection that they had that was just very natural. Would love to do it with UMass. He and I spoke a little bit more about it. He found out actually that Javorn had kind of kicked around the idea. The three of us got together, and here we are.
Yeah, it's a really interesting story. And how do you plan on getting past the first year jitters? I mean, you actually have already coached once and won a game with YGC. So you think that will help you as a coach, having already coached this event before?
Yeah, I think so. Strategically, there are some things that are different with coaching the game in TBT because the obvious, right, is that you have the elam ending. Mm-hmm. Playing quarters is a little bit different. The timeout situation, managing those, the media versus the ones you actually have in your pocket. And then, really it's just conveying that to any player that hasn't played in the TBT before. But, Chaz and the rest of the guys, they've all played in the Atlantic 10 tournament, and they know that you either win there or you pack up and go home. So I think we just have to kind of bring that same mentality. And that should hopefully ease some of those, like you said, first game jitters.
It's interesting, and that's a great answer. And it's interesting you mentioned the A10 thing because we have TBT did a pretty good job this year, actually, of manufacturing some juicy matchups. Yeah. And Chaz, you guys get to play your buddies from Rhode Island, the University of Rhode Island alumni, the Rhody Way, a school that's obviously so high quality they can't even name the fact they're not an island in the school. That obviously doesn't speak to their academics very well. So that rivalry, what's that mean to play a friendly rival in Rhody Way again?
Let's just say it will be interesting, to say the least. My whole career, we always had some battles. It's been some tough games. It's been some easy games, and it's been some interesting ones. And, from my standpoint, I said this on the last interview, I'm going to wait till after the game to mention this. So I'm going to save this one for after the game as well. But it should be good, and hopefully it work out in our favor.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, Coach Mannix, obviously you've coached under Bruiser Flint, who's now an assistant at Kentucky. He also used to coach at Drexel. What kind of style of play can fans of the UMass alum team, the Commonwealth, expect to see in TBT?
Well, we have a lot of weapons, right? And my guy here at the bottom of my Zoom screen being one of them for sure. So, you know, it's on us to make sure that everybody gets the ball in the position, the area of the floor where they feel really comfortable scoring the ball. And then we have to put in some things offensively where we're able to kind of share it, make sure guys stay in the right positions and kind of stay in places that they're comfortable with. I think what will hopefully separate us from the pack will be our combination of talent on the perimeter and talent of guys that aren't scared to play on the block, go out and get some points on the block, throwing it into them, which is now like, you know, that's like talking about dinosaurs, it sounds like.
Yeah, you might as well be speaking like a dead language at this point in
Right.
basketball.
But I think a combination of the two, and then, you know, the big guys that we're talking about, they're also guys that aren't afraid to step away. They can do that. They've, you know, added that to their game or have had that to their game. But I think that we're going to be able to go outside in to maybe back out and kind of play that way. And I think we're going to be a difficult matchup for teams because of our size and our speed and ability out there.
Well, I like the way you say that, because that's actually a really big answer, and it dives right into your bracket a little bit, because there's a team from a smaller conference. A10 is a good conference, but a smaller conference that has a bruiser inside who scores and a lot of quick scoring guards that just won last year in your bracket, which is blue collar U. You basically describe what you're trying to do. You describe them to a T. Nick Perkins gets the ball. Maybe the best thing that happened to you guys is Nick Perkins, summer league goes so well, someone signs him and kicks him out of TBT on a contract. That'd probably be everybody's best result, right?
Yeah.
So Chaz, obviously it's a drive to get to Cuse, but your fans can get there. I mean, so like, how many red shirts do you want to see in Syracuse in TBT?
A lot, honestly. We've always had an amazing fan base at UMass, always did. Even when we was losing a bit, we had some very solid and, you know, loyal ones. And, you know, I always appreciate them guys. And, you know, playing against Rhodey, you know, it's another A10 matchup. You know, the team will play against each other during the season twice, you know, possibly. So, you know, why not come out and see us play against the alumni team and, you know, make this something special again. Once again, UMass has always been great to us when it came to supporting. So, you know, that little drive shouldn't be much for them. And, you know, get to see us play again and reunite.
Yeah. And the Chance, actually, I want to ask one more question. We didn't discuss this previously, but just real quick.
Yeah.
You guys are one of the teams that's kind of organized with the NIL actually helping fund it, which is a new thing in basketball. True or false? You wish there was NIL money when you were at UMass?
Say it again.
You wish there was NIL money for you when you were at UMass?
Hell yeah. What? I was just joking. One of the guys the other day, I said, I probably got a couple of 100,000. They said a couple of 100,000. Said, man, you probably would have been a millionaire. And I said, do I still have some eligibility now?
Yeah, just put your name in the transfer portal, and like you can be Charles Williamson, and then just sort of like drop the glasses and maybe cut your hair different and just say, yeah, I'm a transfer from, and name a country and just see what happens. Maybe make some extra money.
He's in great shape. He's in great shape, and he's got no gray hair like me, so he's fine.
There we go. We're just going to embezzle some schools out of some money. I love this. Chaz Williams, guard, and Coach Mike Mannix of the Commonwealth. Thanks for coming on today.
And thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed listening to Zoom the TBT with Charge and Hainer. Subscribe to YouTube, follow on Twitter, and give us your money.